Hey, Harsh here. We have been diving into the fundamentals of system design, talking about architectures like monoliths or microservices, and understanding high level versus low level design. Today, we are taking a step back to something even more foundational: requirements. Specifically, we will look at the difference between functional and non functional requirements. Understanding them is absolutely critical. So, let's get into it. Before we can design or build anything, we need to know what we are supposed to build and how it should behave. That's where requirements come in. Think of them as a detailed recipe for cooking. In software, requirements are statements that describe the services your system should offer and the constraints it must operate under. They are the bedrock of your entire project. If you get the requirements wrong or miss them, you're setting yourself up for a lot of trouble later on. Requirements are of two main categories: functional and non functional requirements. Functional requirements are all about what the system should do, they describe the specific features, behaviors, and functions. Non functional requirements, on the other hand, are about how well the system performs those functions. They describe the qualities or the characteristics of the system, like speed, security, or reliability. Both are equally important for a successful system. Functional requirements describe specific actions or functionalities the system must provide. Think of them as the verbs of your system. What can a user do? What tasks can the system perform? Functional requirements are often directly tied to user needs and are typically derived from things like user stories or user cases. Crucially, they're tested in a direct way. Either the system does it or it doesn't. For example, for an e-commerce website, a user shall be able to create a new account. The system shall allow users to add items to the shopping cart. The system shall process payments via credit card. An admin shall be able to view all the orders. These are all about the core features. Let's take an example: an online bookstore. Some of its functional requirements might be: users must be able to search for books using different criteria like title, author, or ISBN. Users should be able to view detailed information about a book, including its description, price, and customer reviews. Users need to be able to add books to a virtual shopping cart. And of course, users must be able to proceed to checkout and complete a purchase. The system itself needs to integrate with the payment gateway to handle these transactions. After purchase, users should be able to view their past orders. And from an administrative side, an admin needs to be able to manage the book inventory, add new books, updating details, or removing them. See how all these are about specific actions and features? Now let's shift to non functional requirements. If functional requirements tell us what the system does, non functional requirements tell us how well it does it. They define the qualities, characteristics, and operational constraints. These are often adjectives or adverbs describing the system's behavior. Some of the common categories of non functional requirements include performance. How fast is the system? For example, search results should load under X amount of seconds. Scalability: can the system handle more users or data as it grows? The system must support X amount of concurrent users during peak hours. Availability or reliability is like how often the system is up and running correctly. For example, the system must have 99.99% uptime. That is kind of the industry standard. Moreover, we have security. How well is the system protected and its data protected? Are all passwords hashed and soldered? Usability is how easy for it is to users to learn and use the system. Maintainability: how easy it is to fix bugs or add new features. And portability: can it run different environments if needed? These non-functional requirements often have a bigger impact on systems architecture than functional requirements themselves. Let's go back to our bookstore example and think about the non-functional requirements. For performance, I might say that the book search results must appear under 2 seconds, or the homepage must load under 3 seconds for 95% of the users. For scalability, the system must be able to scale to 5,000 concurrent users smoothly during some holiday sale. For availability, I would say that the site must be available 99.9% time. For security, all communication containing payment information must be encrypted using HTTPS, and user passwords must be stored securely using strong hashing algorithms. For usability, a first-time user should be able to find a book and complete a purchase within 5 steps or clicks. For maintainability, I would say that it should be able to integrate a new payment gateway module with less than 2 weeks of development effort. Notice how these non-functional requirements don't describe new features, but rather the qualities of existing features and the system as a whole. Just a quick note on where these requirements actually come from. It's a critical process called requirements elicitation or requirements gathering. This involves talking to stakeholders, for example, the end users, the business owners, and the clients. Developing user stories and use cases that describe how users will interact with the system. Sometimes looking at what competitors are doing and what the market expects. If you're replacing an old system, analyzing its strength and weaknesses. And very importantly, considering any legal, regulatory, or compliance obligations. Process is a discipline itself, often handled by business analysts or product managers, but it is vital for designers and developers to understand and engage with. To sum it up, functional requirements define what the system does, its features and functionalities. Non-functional requirements define how well the system does it, its performance, security, scalability, and other crucial qualities. Both are absolutely essential. You need to deliver the right features or functional requirements, but you also need to deliver them in the way that meets expectations for quality and performance or non-functional requirements. Ignoring either can lead to a failed project. Hey, if this video helped you understand this topic, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also drop your suggestions down in the comments about the improvements and the topics you would like me to cover next. Till then, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.